Hi, I'm Tavi,
And I'm Shelby.
and we are Savi
Savi
Herbs
Herbs
and
and Co.
Co.
And we could clink our
Clink.
glasses.
Yeah, I had the same idea.
This is our first episode of Spilling the Tea with Shelby and Tavi, and we're going to be talking about my brain injury.
Yes. So, when I first met Shelby, she made it clear that she does have a brain injury and it does limit some of her activities. I mean, no problem with that at all. Like, whenever I can accommodate her as a friend, I will do that for sure.
I think that when Tavi meets people, she immediately wants to know that they are morally on the same plane as her.
Yeah.
And I think that my thing is that when I meet people, I immediately want to make sure that they are aware of my disability and I am monitoring how they cope with that, like how they deal with me needing
Mhm.
accommodations because it shows me what I need to know about a person.
Basically, whether they're ableist or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends who have essentially dropped me once I became disabled, and I don't want to go through that again. So I really do like to start out a friendship with you understanding my limitations.
Exactly, and it's sad that people who are disabled have to go through that, like friends like dropping them because they're disabled. I mean, any of us can become disabled at any time, and I think we should extend grace and empathy towards everyone, like no matter their situation. So what I'm hoping and what she is hoping as well that we can, inspire people to be more empathetic towards those with disabilities and be accommodating for
And we
sure.
have an interracial, interabled relationship. And
Hmm.
I think that's really interesting, and it's really interesting to navigate that with you. Ask me some riveting questions. Make me cry.
Well, I'm gonna ask you questions I already know the answer to, like some of them.
That's
So,
okay. Make me
okay.
cry. It's
So,
okay. I can.
what is an AVM and what happens when it ruptures?
An AVM rupture is it's like imagine an aneurysm
Mhm.
and how that works because I think people are more familiar with how
Mhm.
aneurysms work. An aneurysm, but more.
Mhm.
That's weird to say, but it's instead of one blood vessel bursting, it's a
Mhm.
tangle of blood vessels that all burst at the same time.
Mhm.
And depending on what part of your body that takes place in, it
Mhm.
affects different things. I know that AVMs are not just in the brain. Mine
Mhm.
just so happened to be in the brain. Some people experience paralysis with it happening in their back,
Yeah.
in their face. I've
Mhm.
seen AVMs all over people's bodies
Mhm.
and how the ruptures affect them.
Yeah. What's your health? What was your health like before the brain injury? Like, what were?
Um, so my health was okay. Um, I think I thought that I had a lot of anxiety problems that were causing a lot of my malnourishment, a
Mhm.
lot of me not sleeping well. Um, in actuality, I had an AVM in my head.
And like, how old were you? Like, just like a couple weeks before you had the AVM.
I had just turned 17.
Mm.
So I had my AVM rupture in December and my birthday is in November. So I was a month into being 17.
Mm. And so, what were you like then? Like your personality, your aspirations, your goals?
I would say it was a lot different than what I am now. Like back then, I was very much like on a grind lifestyle. Like I was making straight A's. I was always doing work. I was overpouring from my cup in every single point of my life. And that's probably what sparked my brain injury was the stress of constantly giving to every aspect of my life and
Hmm.
not slowing down.
And also, give a description of like what kind of high school that you went to.
So I went to a school in Florida that is an art school. So it was very intensive. And I was a creative writer, which meant I had a class of about 18, and we had a very small, very intimate group. And my school was a lot different than other schools. It was a lot more, it was a liberal arts school.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw all types of people from all types of
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds.
But it kind of reminds me of like when I think of like a liberal arts high school, it's giving Victorious. That's what I'm imagining.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Watching Victorious is what made me apply to this art school.
Yeah.
I'm dead
You're like, I
serious.
want to live that lifestyle.
Yes,
Yeah.
me and my husband both went to this school and we both wanted to live in Victorious.
Hmm.
And not gonna lie, it was a little bit like Victorious. There was
Yeah.
a lot of singing in the hallways and stuff. It did feel a little bit like a musical.
Yeah. So basically, you were ambitious. You were focusing on, I remember you mentioning like your writing, like you love to write. You had aspirations to go to college. So many of that kind of stuff. You had a lot of friends too. Did you have like a boyfriend at the time as well?
Yes, so
Hmm.
I was dating my husband, and I wouldn't say that that relationship was on the track for marriage at that point, but going through my trauma kind of alongside him
Hmm.
really reinforced that I had already found the one.
Right. And so tell me about the day that before the AVM injury, like what was your day looking like? Because I'm assuming it was like a normal day. You didn't even have any thought. I'm assuming.
It was a normal day. It was
Mhm.
also a really stressful day. It was my junior year right before Christmas break. And if any of you have ever been juniors before, you know that that's the most stressful year. Like, that's the most work heavy year. And I had a teacher who I felt like was out to get me. And I had been writing this essay for weeks on end. I stayed up through the night. I don't think I slept that whole week
Mhm.
before my brain injury. Like, maybe I slept a few hours a night,
Mhm.
and then I stayed up the whole night before making Christmas gifts for my friends
Mhm.
because it was the day before we left for break. So I really wanted to give out gifts to my friends. And even as I was sitting in the nurse's station, like having a stroke, it's so funny to think about
Mhm.
because I was asking the people around me to please make sure that they gave my friends the gifts I made them as I was having a stroke.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a super stressful day. I had two exams that day. I
Mhm.
had to turn in that essay I was talking about.
Mhm.
And I don't think I even I didn't see my boyfriend that day. I was just busy. I was locked
Mhm.
in.
Yeah. So, with feeling like so stressful, like everything leading up to it, did you have any like anything unusual happening with your body?
Yes.
Mhm.
I did have unusual things happening with my body. Like I said,
Mhm.
I don't think I slept the week before.
Mhm.
I also don't think I ate that
Mhm.
entire week. And I thought it was anxiety. I thought I was really
Mhm.
stressed out, which
Mhm.
I was,
Mhm.
but I thought that those were normal reactions
Mhm.
to being stressed out.
Mhm. And so, tell me about the moment, like the couple moments leading up to the AVM,
Um,
and then how it happened.
well, I was at lunch. We had a power hour essentially where 30 minutes we would study and 30 minutes we would eat lunch.
Mhm.
And I slept the entire time,
Mhm.
which going back in the timeline, I probably had started having a stroke already and just wasn't quite to the dramatic
Mhm.
collapsing yet.
Yeah.
I was already having a stroke though, and my mom was at a deposition, and I remember thinking that I could not bother her, and I just desperately didn't want to bother her,
Mhm.
and so I couldn't call home sick.
Mhm.
Even though it's silly, of course she would have
Mhm.
come and got me, but I didn't want to bother her, and my friend was asking if she should call her mom for me,
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't want to bother your mom.
Mhm. Mhm.
And a friend of mine told me that she when she gets migraines, because that's what I was telling people I was experiencing.
Mhm.
Um, that when she gets migraines, she goes and they can give her ibuprofen at the front office.
Mhm.
So we walked out of the back of the cafeteria where literally no one goes. Like,
Mhm.
if I would have been alone, no one would have found me.
Mm.
Like, I would have been there for hours
Mhm.
before somebody found me. But luckily, I was with my friend and she was leading me to the front office. And at that point, I collapsed. I passed out. That's when the blood started hitting the parts of my brain. Like, I couldn't see, I
Mhm.
couldn't hear. I was barely
Mhm.
conscious. And she ran to go get help, and they were able to get me to adults with nursing backgrounds
Mhm.
who were able to help take care of me and call my family and the
Mhm.
emergency lines.
Mm. And so after you collapse, the ambulance came and like, do you remember that sort of like interaction?
I really don't. um I remember the whole time thinking that I had a migraine
Mhm.
because that's what I thought was happening, and that's what everyone told me. I think they
Mhm.
were trying to calm me down because nobody knew what was happening.
Mhm.
And so everyone told me, like, "Oh, you're having a migraine. Like, it's okay."
Yeah, because I feel like a stroke would be like that would be like literally the last thing I would say.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I would have no clue. I would be shocked. So I'm really grateful that, and that was a nurse who did
Mhm.
that and told me I was having a migraine to calm me down. But I really, I went unconscious.
Mhm.
And what I've heard is that they tried to treat me for a drug overdose several times.
Mm.
And because I was coming from the school I was coming from, it was
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
to have drug overdoses happen there.
Yeah.
And my mom kept telling them that I was not having a drug overdose, like,
Yeah.
she knows me. And they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And luckily, my school was right next to a hospital.
Mhm.
And luckily, that hospital had an AVM specialist in it, like the one time a month that he's there.
Mhm.
He was there on that day when I needed him.
Mhm.
So,
So how did they find out that you had an AVM?
um, they put me through a CT scan. I know that they thought I was having an aneurysm for a very
Mhm.
long time, and that's what they told my parents. And to this day, a lot of people still think I had an aneurysm because that was the initial thing that they told
Mhm.
us was going on. And so a lot of people will still be like, "Oh, your aneurysm,"
Mhm.
but I didn't have one. It
Mhm.
An AVM's harder to diagnose, but
Mhm.
they were able to see, and they really had to open me up,
Mhm.
and then they were able to understand what had happened.
When you say open you up, you're talking about your skull, like to your
Yes.
brain. Okay.
I had a full craniotomy, and
Mhm.
they were able to see what had happened.
Mhm. Mm. So I just can imagine like how your family was coping with this. Like you're getting sent to an ambulance, you're in a hospital, you're going through a CT scan, a craniotomy.
Yeah, my family was really, I don't know, they were just good at dealing with this.
Mhm.
I've never met a family who was more equipped to go
Mhm.
through something like this. Like, my mom was so strong. She never once doubted that anything would happen. Like,
Mhm.
she had her belief so strong the entire time that I was going to wake up. She didn't even think I was going to be disabled to the capacity that I was.
Yeah.
She just had full, strong belief that I was fine.
Mhm.
And it's so great that she was able to go through that with that strength.
Mhm.
And she started an update page where I still get recognized by people in the community who followed my update page
Mhm.
and was able to see everything that I was going through my whole
Mhm.
recovery, everything like that.
Mhm. Oh, I love that. That she rallied the community behind you as well to support you while you're in the hospital. And so tell me about when you woke up, the first time you woke up in the hospital. Do you remember that time?
Um, I can't really put together a direct timeline
Mhm.
of waking up, but I do know that being in a coma, I had repetitive nightmares,
Mhm.
and that waking up from a coma, I was confused on what was real and what was not.
Mm.
And that was a lot of my experience. I know everyone has a different
Right.
type of thing going on with their near death, but for me, it was nightmares.
Do you remember what those nightmares were or what they entailed?
Yes.
Mhm. Do you want to talk about them?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think I could talk about those
Mhm.
with a straight face.
Okay. Tell me about how your friends and your boyfriend at the time, who was now your husband, like felt and how they dealt with the situation.
well, I'll talk about my friends first.
Mhm.
So, about 85% of my friends did not deal with the situation very well.
Mhm.
I think they kind of thought that it was like a one and done deal.
Mhm.
Like, I had an emergency situation and I was in the hospital and then I was going to be back to myself.
Mhm.
And I had to recover for probably 2 or 3 years to get back to what I would call normal.
Mhm.
And so I don't think they dealt with that very well. There were a few friends here and there who really helped me in my recovery. They would come and bring me normal teenager updates.
Mhm.
They would come and spill all the tea on what was going on in
Mhm.
high school. And things like that were so, so helpful.
Mhm.
And they were there until I was ready to be myself again.
Mhm.
And my husband had the best reaction ever.
Mhm.
it just I would have never expected him to be able to deal with trauma so well.
Mhm.
And he was my rock the entire time.
Mhm.
And I can't believe that he was as strong as he was because I was saying terrible things about him
Mhm.
to his parents. To like his
Yeah.
parents would come and visit me and I would like tell his parents all types of things about him that
Yeah.
weren't true. Like I was just making up obscene things.
Mhm.
I did not think I was in reality. I thought it was just like a dream.
Mhm.
And I would say terrible things. I would do terrible things. I would bite him like a literal baby. I was just biting him, and
Mhm.
then he would be like, "It's okay." And my husband is the most patient man in the entire
Mhm.
world, and I am so grateful for that because
Mhm.
when I came out of that, I was able to see that he never wavered, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
that's the person I need for
That's
the rest of my
special.
life."
Mhm. Oh, and I love even too like his family supported you as well.
I love my in-laws.
Yeah.
They are incredible.
And so, what was recovery like?
Um, Recovery was really difficult. Me and my mom always say that the first year of my recovery was physical
Mhm.
and the second year of my recovery was mental
Mhm.
because the first year I was going through those like physical difficulties of learning to walk,
Mhm.
learning to eat, swallow, speak, all of those
All
type of
over again.
things
Yeah.
that it was really difficult to wake up and try to do that every day, of course. But that second year, when the PTSD hit, and when I was like coming to the realization that I was not ever going to be myself again,
Mhm.
the way that I had grown up feeling,
Mhm.
like I even tried to go back to high school
Mhm.
during my last year
Mhm.
and seeing the way that people were reacting to me
Mhm.
was
Mm.
so difficult to understand that like I wasn't me anymore,
Mhm.
the me that I recognized. And I had to fully break down my personality and rebuild it.
So even in that second year, Were you still doing the physical stuff of like learning to
I
do that while
was.
you're dealing with the mental headache of like the
Yeah.
PTSD, and then realizing that having like an identity crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're back in high school.
And then also during that time COVID hit.
Yeah.
Um
Mhm.
and not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed COVID
Mhm.
because I felt like I was missing out on my senior year and I was
Mhm.
missing out on all of these things. And then suddenly everybody else was in a social peril as well.
Yeah.
And I it felt really good
Yeah.
for everybody else to experience just a sliver of what I was
Yeah.
experiencing.
People gain more empathy. Yeah. And so pandemic hit, you're at home, your friends are at home. Did it make communicating with them easier, communicating with Peter?
So Peter came over to, like, he couldn't drive at that time,
Mm-hmm.
which was difficult, but in his family was a lot more protective of
Mm-hmm.
him, especially with COVID,
Mm-hmm.
than my family was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but his mom would still like drop him off every
Mm-hmm.
single day to my house, and we would ride bikes together.
Oh.
We got tandem bikes
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't balance anymore, so I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
ride a bike obviously. But we got those tandem bikes like
Mm-hmm.
old people have, and we would ride bikes through the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We would do all kinds of things outside,
Mm-hmm.
and my communication with my friends kind of just cut off at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Winter, shush. Lay down. Hey, lay down.
Well,
This is
what?
my
Mm-hmm.
service dog. He really helped with my recovery. I got him in my third year and he did wonders for my recovery. And now
Oh.
he's retired because he didn't do his job super well. But yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh. And so, why did the communication like fizzle out completely with your friends
I think
during the
because I had
pandemic?
already dropped so many
Mhm.
people that I already wasn't in communication with them.
Mhm.
So them being at home wasn't helping
Mhm. And so, since Windsor is here, let's talk about your third year.
that. um, my third year, I made a lot of progress, and I would say that that year's theme in total was learning how to be independent again.
Mhm.
Um, I had a full time nurse. I never mentioned my full time nurse. She was my best friend,
Mhm.
which was amazing. Like my mom and my nurse were always by my side,
Mhm.
always being my best friend. And so in my third year, I stopped having a full time nurse. My mom went to work.
Mhm.
And I had to learn to deal with my own demons a little
Mhm.
bit. I had to learn how to do things by myself because I
Mhm.
was so used to not doing things by myself and not being alone.
Mhm.
And I think getting my service dog really helped.
Mhm.
And he really improved everything for me because I wasn't alone anymore, but
Oh.
I also wasn't constantly being watched over by another human.
Yeah.
Like that's stressful to have another human attached to you all the time,
Mhm.
but having a dog companion
Mhm.
was so great for my journey.
Mhm.
And then I also got engaged a few months after I got Windsor.
Mhm.
So I loved that.
Mhm. Oh, so basically things like progress like really nicely with you gaining your independence back, you're settling into your new identity, your relationship with your family. I can imagine gotten even stronger going through a traumatic event like that, and even with Peter and his family too. And so, how are you at with life and recovery since the AVM rupture?
Well, it's still hard. It's still a day by day struggle, but I think I've really found a good balance in being independent. I don't drive, so I'm home a lot.
Mhm.
My husband works, but I'm able to be happy. I
Mhm.
think there was a lot of depression going on in
Mhm.
those times when I was alone
Mhm.
before, but I'm able to feel fulfilled in my life now.
Mhm.
And I think a big part of that is because I had a son
Mhm.
and I love taking care of him
Mhm.
more than anything. He is the light of my life.
Mhm.
And I am so grateful that I'm at this point in my recovery
Mhm.
where I can have hard days and then I can also see how far that I've come
Mhm.
and fight whatever is going on.
And what are examples of some struggles that you face on a daily basis, like things that you struggle with due to the rupture?
Um, PTSD is a big one.
Mhm.
I deal with so much PTSD from certain smells, certain textures. I those nightmares that I was talking
Mhm.
about that I got while I was in a coma, I I have those pop up in my dreams a
Mhm.
lot, and that's very painful to go through over and over again.
Right.
And the PTSD is really hard. It can really put me back in that panicked mindset.
Mhm.
And another thing that I struggle with a lot is my mobility.
Mhm.
I had the AVM happen in my cerebellum, which kind of it controls all of your mobility tasks.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm still walking into walls when
Mhm.
I'm walking next to someone.
Mhm.
It's embarrassing, and it's embarrassing to go out with people and have to explain to them that I don't walk correctly.
Mhm.
And like that's the first time I met you, I
Yeah.
kind of locked in on you because I was like,
Mhm.
I need somebody who's kind and who's going to help me manage not being able to walk, not
Mhm.
being very fast,
Yeah.
not talking correctly after 8 p.m.
Yeah. And so, well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I feel like I learned new things about your journey, and honestly, like it goes to show, like disabilities aren't always like how do I say this, like physical, like
you
you can,
can't you
yeah,
can't always see.
yes, you can't always see someone's disability, and that's why we should.
I have a sticker on my laptop.
Mhm.
It says not all disabilities are visible.
Yes,
It has a burgundy ribbon.
but I'm glad that we're able to raise awareness on AVM ruptures and that disabilities aren't always visible to the eye. I think it's important to practice empathy, whether someone is disabled or not, and respect their accommodations.
And be the toffee in a group. Like when somebody you don't know has some kind of disability or limitations that they're struggling with, be the person who just has that kindness aura about them that they're chosen immediately. Like you're going to look after me.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that's the main reason why we're friends is because when
Oh.
I met you, I was like, "Yep, her. She's gonna be the one."
Oh. Oh. But yeah. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching me interview Shelby on her AVM rupture. I appreciate you guys, and we'll stay tuned for the next video. Yay.
So the cheers are cup.